Maybe wait till next year. You know, it's election year, though. You never know what they're going to bring back. There has to be something crazy happening this year. What do you think they're going to go with? There has to be a war. It has to be war. I think it's war.
I don't think it's possible, like a liberal Republican war.
I don't like to fall into conspiracy theories, but generally when there's smoke, there's fire. Solar flares. YouTube was just down. Microsoft got hit a couple weeks ago. Instagram went down. We are entering an era where you can get completely destabilized with an EMP bomb. They're already destabilizing us, bro.
I mean, all you gotta do is shut down the power grid. You shut down the power grid for fucking 14 days and 30% of the population dies.
Attack a nuclear power plant.
And everybody knows it, but the same way that they know that about us, we know that about them. Like, everybody's walking on eggshells because one fucking wrong chess move,
you're done.
You flip the whole board
You're
over.
done. My fear is that one well-trained Hamas fighter, one well-trained Chinese military fighter can take out 100 of these libtards that are afraid of holding a gun in their hands. They've been socially engineering us for years. We have no culture of responsibility or love for a country. And they are against war, they are against physical combat, they're against all of this.
Today, I think it's a minority. So I think 4 years ago, it was the mass majority.
I hope so.
And now I think it's the minority.
I hope so. You think a 25-year-old, a 24-year-old, straight out of college, think about this, right?
They're conservative.
We can't. I hope so. Okay, I hope so. I hope so.
Women, probably liberal.
I think there's a generational gap there where there's still pride in country for our generation. You think one of these kids that have been sheltered their entire life against bullying, being these kids that have never gotten into a fist fight, being these kids that are being shielded from the, damaging language, being these kids are willing and able to get drafted and to go fight for the U.S. military?
I don't think anybody wants to fight for the military. I cut high school kids, I cut younger guys. All of them are conservative. They're all listening to Andrew fucking Tate, and they're all on that little wave because they've seen the stupidity directly around them, and they have social media. So now these kids are like, yo, what's up with these fucking transgenders and with all this bullshit?
You think it's common sense, or you think it's a social? Again, it comes from social engineering. It comes from social impact of what they're consuming.
This could be reverse psychology. Because they could have pushed us into liberalism and all that fuck shit on purpose to drive us the complete opposite way. Whoever's socially engineering all of this shit, because 100% there's no doubt about that. If I social engineer my household, there's somebody social engineering the country. You know what I mean? I use reverse psychology on my kids. I use all of these techniques.
Human psyche.
And I'm just a regular, I'm a fucking barber. So imagine the best of the best psychologists in this.
Somebody who
they're
understands.
all working for the government, they're all, whatever. So they're social engineering. Now, why would you social engineer a country to be a bunch of fucking morons that don't believe in logic and why? They become consumers. So there's a healthy balance, right? So for us to be the most successful country in the world, through capitalism, you need people to consume what you sell. So now the way that the people that are consuming are your own country. So you almost have to destroy your country to make them all massive consumers to be able to sell and to make the most GDP, right? So you fuck up your people, right? But I think there's like a dance. I think there's like make them consume, but we also have to think of the long run. We can't just make these people fucking retarded and weak and brittle forever. You know what I mean? So I think there's eras, and I think they want you like this for a little bit, and then they're like, all right, come this way because this is a new weather that we're experiencing. So, hey, we're gonna need some strong motherfuckers now, Ultimately, what I really believe is that the cell is just doing what the cell is doing.
Well, yeah, I mean, it is.
It's just happening. But now, inside of it, there's somebody that gets a thought of doing this and whatever, but it's just doing it. It's just flowing,
The cell does what it does through through external factors too. There's information when a cell receives nutrients and it opens up and it receives nutrients through whatever process you want to call it. There's an outside engineering that's happening that's affecting what's going on in the cell too. So the cell's still always going to do what it does.
But the cell, what I mean by the cell is the cell being the cell and the nutrients and the outside and the inside. You know what I mean?
The process, the mechanism.
All of it. No, every single thing that exists is the cell.
Well, we know that you can't shelter a generation because look what you're getting. You just had 3 years where it was fucking popular and encouraged to take the American flag, throw it on the floor, burn it, and step on it, right? And that was applauded on social media. Applauded, right?
That was stupid, though.
And if you stood up for that, you were a
racist,
fucking racist, bigot motherfucker, right? So how quickly you can flip a narrative where
you don't think all that's intentional?
Maybe it's not internal though. That's my worry. We think we're giving it
It's
to our.
possible it's not internal.
We're giving it
It's
to our
possible.
government, and maybe our government isn't fucking smart enough.
That's very possible.
It could be It could be external. It could be.
So, if you look at our government right now, why do we have Joe Biden? How? Not why. How do we have a Joe Biden
I don't know,
and we are
brother.
still the highest GDP? We're still the strongest company. Nobody wants to fuck with
It's a
us.
system.
That's my point. So they have figured out that they could put up a fucking corpse just sitting there, hanging on by a thread, and nobody would still fuck with us.
Is it a facetious just face?
It's a facade.
It's a
all
facade,
a
right?
fucking
Like,
facade.
what power do they actually
and
have?
they're going like this to the world. So we have this fucking retard running our country,
Yeah,
running our
running
country.
our country. Right.
But that shows how strong we are, I think. Now we could break down the immigration
How
and all
strong
this
are
other
we?
shit.
How strong
that,
are
like-
we though? There's
No, how long will we be this strong?
Yeah,
That's
well, I
that's
don't think it's
the
sustainable.
question.
I don't-
What I think happened though, where our government fucked up, at least zoomed in, is what I think we fucked up. Is all the lies. So what happens with, for me, for instance, I just have an archetype of I'm rebellious. I question authority. I'm that person since I was a little kid.
Yeah, I feel it.
So for some reason, I question what any authority is telling me, right? Most people don't, right? Or a lot of people don't. There's a specific archetype which is probably a lot of us, we do, right? A lot of the country, no, that's why when COVID happened, everybody just fell for the shit. Why? Because they don't understand what our country was capable of. They have no idea because they never looked into it, never questioned it.
Well, they never
It is
lived,
what it
oh,
is.
They've never lived it before.
But the problem is that now the majority knows this. And they're like, fuck that. I don't trust this government. You motherfuckers lied to us a million times. And they know about little things. 9/11, they've looked into it. Hey, that's fucking weird. Moon landing is a little weird. The Vegas shooting. You could go for days about all these things. And it's like,
shady
you
Joe that
motherfuckers
sounds
have
crazy.
lied to me and then admitted it and just kept going. And now you expect me to believe this one?
Nobody cares about the admission. They care about the original impact.
No,
of the
but there's
fucking-
people that care now. So now people are like, why would I fight for my country if I don't even know what I'm fighting for? That's the problem. If you were fucking dead ass honest the whole time,
It's a loaded one though.
you know what I mean?
It's a
Because
loaded
like
one.